What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Sevilla in La Liga. Club football is back for the third time this season, but very important stretch here for Barcelona. A season-defining stretch of games, and it all starts at the Montjuic against Sevilla, a team that hasn't done too well this season against a team that's done very well this season so far, but a game that will build confidence and momentum for the huge week ahead for the blaugrana side. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Luis Campos Stadium in Montjuic, which is the home of Barcelona, of course, for the next few months only. And I do also want to mention that before the match, there was, of course, supposed to be a pre-presidential dinner between the president of Sevilla and the president of Barcelona in Joan Laporta, but of course Sevilla did back out of this pre-match traditional meal because of the Negreira allegations. Absolute freaking twats. Even more incentive to go out there on the pitch and beat them. If I'm the coach, if I'm Laporta, I'm telling this to the players, you better effing win this game solely for this. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed on the pitch. It will be Ricardo de Borgas, who's a very good referee. He's usually a very fair one. Xavi always rated him as the best referee in the federation, so we've got him. And on the VAR, it's one of the worst referees in Carlos de Cerro Grande. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat top of La Liga on 24 points after playing 9 matches. We have 8 wins and 1 loss. We are 3 points ahead of second place Real Madrid on 21 points. After 9 matches, they have 6 wins and 3 draws. Now, this, of course, is the final match before El Clasico, so we can go in 6 points ahead, 4 points ahead, or 3 points ahead, 0 points ahead. There could be a lot of different variations. What's clear is that we will go into the Clasico top of the table unless Madrid beat Celta Vigo like 3 or 4-0, then we lose to Sevilla 3 or 4-0. Now, if we do look at the top teams and who they'll be facing this weekend, Real Madrid will play later on today, and they will travel to the Baedos to face Celta Vigo, a stadium where Barcelona tend to struggle, but a stadium where Real Madrid don't tend to struggle, so I expect them to get the result in that match. And then later on tomorrow, Atletico Madrid will be hosting Leganes at the Metropolitano Stadium. That should be a comfortable win for them. But Madrid later on today away at Celta Vigo, where Celta Vigo haven't been too bad this year, but they tend to get results there always consistently, Real Madrid. So that's just more incentive for Barcelona to go out there and get this result. Again, we will know the result of the Celta Vigo game ahead of the Sevilla game. So either way, incentive. If they win, you have to win to keep up your points. If they drop points, holy freak, you could go into, the Clasico 4 points clear, maybe even 6 points clear. So you have to stay on your toes. Again, there is, a little bit of a gap now between first and second and third and fourth that's slowly creeping open. Almost, 6-7 point difference. But again, once that reaches double digits, that's when you have real accountability. Right now, it's still early on in the season. We haven't played 10 games yet. Things could definitely shift and change very easily. But overall, Barcelona do have the upper hand right now, and hopefully that will continue to be the case heading into the Clasico next weekend. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Sevilla and where they're currently standing in the league table, they're currently sat in 12th place in La Liga on 12 points. After playing 9 matches, they have 3 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. A very up and down season. They're averaging, of course, a point a game, sitting around mid-table, which I would say, based on the past few years, they're probably around where we expect based on their form, their squad, and also on how they've been playing. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Sevilla. Like I mentioned so far in the league, they've kind of been performing around where you expect them. Maybe they should be a bit higher. Of course, a very historic and strong team overall in La Liga. The last time we did face them was the final match of last season at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, of course, under the stewardship of Xavi, where we did win 2-1. I believe Lewandowski scored, then Estadi scored like early in the second half, and then Fermin Lopez with a great long shot to get the result in this game. I would say Barcelona did dominate. I remember Barcelona dominating this game, but Sevilla still had a few chances in behind. So hopefully that is the same case in the match tomorrow. You can see from the lineup on the right hand side, you're only really missing, Cancelo, Gundogan, and Christensen. Everyone, and Ter Stegen, of course, everyone else will be available for this game. And again, that back line will be very similar. I mean, the back line is 3 out of 4 of them probably will be playing tomorrow, so hopefully we do get the same result in the game that we do have, of course, tomorrow. Now, if you took a look at Sevilla's last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they won the Sevilla derby against Betis 1-0. They drew 1-1 with Athletic Club. They beat Valladolid 2-1. They lost to Alaves 2-1. They beat Getafe 1-0, and they lost to Girona 2-0. So a very up and down kind of results. They're beating Getafe, beating Valladolid, but the teams that you expect them to have, strong competition with, drawing away. To be fair, away to MMS isn't a bad result, as we know. We know that away at Girona lost, and then of course winning their Sevilla derby, which of course is a huge game for them. But let's take a look at now the last 3 matches in all competition more in depth. Firstly is the 2-1 win against Valladolid, where we know Valladolid aren't the best team, but we did beat them 7-0, but I think that was just, we were just on our day, of course. Sevilla really had a good game here, but again, a game where they should have walked away with more ease and more comfortability, but end up being more so of a challenge. I think, the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan did have a real effect in this game. They left it quite late as well. You can see the lineup, of course, on the right-hand side. They're lining up in the 4-2-3-1 formation with their historic right back, Jesus Navas, playing on the wing, which shows their shortage of players as well. Again, it's a game where you expect Sevilla to win, where they did, but they didn't make it as comfortable as you would expect for them. Next up is their 1-1 draw against Athletic Club, in a game where you could say is much more difficult. Away at the San Mamés is a very good Athletic Club side who are, top half of the table, top 7 in the league, I would say. Again, the lineup very similar to the one that they played against Valladolid at home, and they had a much better performance in this game. They kept it tight. They defended very well in this game, I have to say, based on the few minutes that I did watch of this game. I think more so Athletic Club weren't really clinical and weren't really themselves on the day. I think Sevilla caught them on a good day, and in the end they walked away with the point, which, to be fair, they probably would get 9 times out of 10 not playing, Athletic Club. So a good point for them, but again, I think more so Athletic Club let it slip than Sevilla earning it. And their final match in all competition was a 1-0 win against Betis in the Sevilla derby. Luco Bello penalty was one that secured the 3 points for them. Again, at the Sanchez Pizjuan in the Sevilla derby, it's like their Clasico form goes out the window at this point. Again, their lineup is very similar to what they've been playing. No Saul Linguez, he's going to be out for a few weeks injured. Of course, their center back there, he got the red card, so we'll probably see Marcao come back in alongside Bede. Again, it's a very, very, very well structured, well balanced team as well that can perform when the pressure is on. That's why in this game there is that bit of that concern, but in the Sevilla derby, very, very even game, but Sevilla are the ones that leave on top. So overall, final thoughts on Sevilla. I would say they're a good team, of course, that's probably missing a few pieces to really take them to that next level, challenging the top half, your Athletic Clubs, your Villarreals, those kind of teams, but I think they're still being worked with. They've seen some glimpses of great moments from them, poor moments, and then very, very poor moments. Now, they are managed by their new manager this season, the former Barca B, or Barca Athletic manager, a manager that Barcelona fans really wanted to be appointed after Koeman. It is Garcia Pimienta. Of course, last season he was the Las Palmas coach. He got the upgrade, you could say, this summer to be coaching Sevilla. Very, very ropey start for him in the job, but again, he's sitting around mid-table where you do expect Sevilla to be around. They've had some good moments, but some moments not the best. His record against Barcelona isn't the best either. We saw last season with Las Palmas, I believe, won both games, but they were both kind of narrow victories. Of course, one that was the last second penalty from Gundogan, so he will make it difficult. He knows, the style of Barcelona. He knows, philosophy, so he knows where the loopholes are, you could say, just now down to really execution. Now, on the execution, players to look out for Sevilla. Bade has been on fantastic form. Their center back, Luco Bello, has probably been their star player in that front line. Apart from that, it's pretty much been a lot of players in and out. Of course, Barco the left back from Argentina. He's of course fantastic talent on loan from Brighton. Gugel in the midfield, who are used to playing week in week out. Nyland in goal. He's very, very solid. They have of course Iheanacho coming in up front on a free agent transfer from Leicester this past summer. So they have, good players here and there. They probably have the core 4 or 5 players, and the rest is kind of chopping and changing week in, week out. Just really done the Barcelona catching them on an off day and also being on top of our game as well. Because if we're on top of our game, Sevilla won't be able to touch us. Now, we do have one fitness update coming into this match against Sevilla, and that is of course the medical green light galore for a multitude amount of players. This morning, after the first team training session, Miguel did confirm that Robert Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo, Pablo Gavi, and Wojciech Szczesny will all be fit and available for the match against Sevilla. That is 3 fully fit players and 4 new inclusions from the Alaves match. Of course, Olmo, Fermin, Gavi, and Szczesny coming in. Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, minor knocks during international break, but no problems for this game. Who plays, who starts, who's on the bench, stuff like that will of course come down to the manager. But from the medical perspective, in terms of fitness, they've all been given the green light. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke to the meeting this morning. It was a bit late because the training session went a bit longer than expected, so he came out to the press conference about 20 minutes late, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So let's get and see what the German had to say this morning in the presser. He starts out by saying that Sevilla are a brave team with very good dynamic. They look to play football, they look to have possession, so we had to find our way to respond to that, and we are focusing on that. Then asked on a fitness update on Lamine Yamal and possible rest for him in this game, he said, look, we are focusing on Sevilla and we will play with the best 11. He has recovered and we thank the coach of Spain for giving him the rest. So giving some credit there to Luis de la Fuente. He was then asked about, again, more so on Lamine Yamal, saying that I spoke to him and that he's ready to play tomorrow. We had taken the decision that he would rest as a precaution for tomorrow, but things can change. So apparently beforehand they were going to arrest him, and now he's fully fit, so that decision might be changing, so we'll wait and see on that. He then was asked, of course, on the goalkeeper position, saying, look, there's going to be no change tomorrow. Iñaki Peña will be in goal. Big news there from Flick, confirming that Iñaki Peña will be in goal. We'll talk about that again in a few seconds. He then asked, of course, on the injured players, Olmo, Fermin, Gavi, what's up with them? And he said, look, I can confirm that all the injured players are with us, but I can't say if they will start or not. The situation is different for Gavi. He might be on the bench, but we'll see what happens. Fermin Lopez is fine. He's doing very well in training, and he may be able to play alongside Dani Olmo. We'll see what happens, as our focus is also on the match on Wednesday against Bayern Munich. He's saying that, look, they've all been basically cleared fit. Where they play, how they play, if they play, will depend on the feelings heading into the match. He was then asked on his relationship with Xavi. If you guys didn't see, on Xavi's Instagram, he posted a picture with Flick, saying that, we met up, we're linking up, what's up? Flick was asked about, his meeting with Xavi, and he said that, look, when I was the German coach, I had a really good relationship with Xavi, but now the situation was a bit different, since he was sacked and I came in to replace him. I wanted to reach out through him and speak to him, but I wanted to wait for the right time, and the best time was after Iniesta's retirement press conference, and he saw Xavi there. The guy just said hi and that's it. And after that, he reached out to him saying, hey, let's meet up, let's grab a coffee together. Apparently they live very close. Apparently they live like half a block from each other. So he said they went and met, they had some coffee, and then that's where he left. He didn't want to give, of course, any more details to that. He was then asked on, of course, the Frenkie de Jong being able to start or not. He did confirm, by the way, that Frenkie de Jong did have some discomfort during the week. When they returned to training on Thursday, he said he had discomfort. He didn't train very well. He then said that, of course, today in the training session, he did take part in only part of the training, and then some of it he did individually. He said that he is thinking about starting Frenkie de Jong tomorrow if he is ready, but we'll see what happens with that. He then asked on the goalkeeper change again, saying that, look, in the end of the day, there's no reason to change things, and that Iñaki Peña will start tomorrow. He then asked whether or not he will change the goalkeeper for the Champions League. As we all know, when you have kind of 2 top goalkeepers, one will kind of play the league, one will play the cup. And he said again, look, we didn't plan on any changes for the goalkeeper in the Champions League. You never know what could happen, but for me personally, Iñaki Peña will play tomorrow, and he will play on Wednesday. I'm very happy though with the arrival of Szczesny. That is huge news. As I've been saying every single time over the past 3 weeks in my Goals TV videos, on these videos, whoever starts in goal against Sevilla will play against Bayern Madrid. So you're probably expecting now Estadi Olímpic to play all those 3 games. May God be on our side, and we'll wait and see what happens. And the only way now to bring in Szczesny is going to be against Espanyol, because of course from the Madrid game to Espanyol, you're going to have that week off, so you can, make that kind of change. But 3 games in a week, you can't be changing the goalkeeper too much. So I think that Estadi Olímpic now is pretty much guaranteed to start, of course, tomorrow, Bayern, and the Clásico. He was then asked on Gavi's best positions. And look, Gavi's are coming back. Where do you see him playing the best? He said, what I can say is that our midfield has many players who can play in many different positions. Considering Gavi's mentality, his intensity, and the way that he carries the ball, I see him more as a 6 or an 8. So basically playing in that double pivot, he could play on either side. The Casado, Frankie role, where you're kind of a bit more deeper and, winning balls in the midfield, or on the other side where Pedri, maybe Pablo Torre will play, the bit more creative side to it. So that's very interesting that you see him as a 6 and an 8. I think we could kind of agree that Gavi's more an 8, but a 6 is very interesting. He could also help the players understand how to maintain possession. We were discussing with him about playing in those 2 positions. So he's going to play in the pivot. He can play on either side of the pivot, and that's where he's going to be predominantly be playing for Barcelona. And finally, he was asked on the how Ansu is doing, also on the chance of Ansu Fati starting in tomorrow's game with the injuries and players coming back from international break. And he said there's a chance for Ansu to start tomorrow. He's improving. His improvement has been incredible, but also it's not easy for him to get into the team and get regular minutes, seeing how Raphinha is playing. In fact, it's not easy for anyone to come and start immediately for Barcelona. Basically saying, look, to come in, wait for your chance. Once your chance comes in, you can't let go of it, essentially. We'll see with Fati, but I think it will be a miracle if he starts tomorrow. And that concludes Hansi Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Sevilla tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. I think it will be fairly easy to predict, barring a change or 2. And I've gone with this lineup on the screen right now for Hansi Flick. I've gone with Estadi Olímpic in goal, a back 4 of Kounde, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield 3 of Casado, Pedri, and Raphinha, and a front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Pau Victor off the left-hand side. Let's discuss this. Firstly, the back 5 for me is guaranteed. Of course, Kounde only played 1 game for France. Balde did not go. Cubarsí, I think, only played a couple of minutes for Spain. Inigo didn't go, and Estadi Olímpic didn't go. So that back 5 is pretty fresh. Casado only played 1 game for the under-21. Same with Pedri as well. Raphinha did play both the games for Brazil, so he could be the one in question. I think he will mainly start due to the fact that he's the captain. I think on the right-hand side will be Lamine Yamal in the front with Lewandowski. I think he basically will go full strength. I think Flick's plan is to play the gauntlet team, the best team, against Sevilla, Bayern, and Madrid, and probably maybe rotate for Espanyol, Red Star, and Sociedad. I think he's going to go all out this coming week to really get the results going. Off the left-hand side, of course, is the big question. Will he go with Pau Victor or Ansu Fati? I think he will go with Pau Victor, especially based on his answer in the press conference. He's kind of quite pessimistic about Ansu Fati. In the midfield, I don't think Frankie de Jong is quite ready yet. That's why I think Casado will start, especially with Frankie having discovered during the week. I doubt Flick will go and start him from the get-go. I mean, the one change I could see, of course, is off that left-hand side. He could maybe play multiple. He can play has different options. He could maybe start Pablo Torre as well. Maybe we'll rest them in Yamal, but honestly, I don't think so. And same with Lewandowski as well. But this is everything that Hansi Flick will select for this match. I think maybe maximum 1 change in my opinion. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Hansi Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes and tweaks from Hansi Flick's lineup. I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now. I mean, Szczesny in goal is kind of optimistic for me, but I would go with him for the 3 games coming up ahead of Estadi Olímpic. Back 4 the same, double pivot the same. I would go with Pablo Torre in the 10, Raphinha on the right, Pau Victor up front, and Ansu Fati off the left. That probably front 4 is shocking you guys. Here's my mentality. For me, Bayern, Madrid, Espanyol are the 3 big ones. Those are the 3 games that I want to win. I would take a sacrifice in this game, a draw, so to speak, with starting with a poor lineup to win those 3 games. I want Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, those key players fresh for those 3 games. This is the lineup that I would use to approach that game. Subs for me would be mainly the players coming back, your Fermins, your Olmos, your Gavis. I wouldn't even touch Lamine Yamal or Lewandowski in this game unless, we're down by a goal and there's about maybe half an hour left to go. But I definitely believe with the form that Sevilla is in, with how good their squad is, this team can go out there and get a result. Pau Victor playing in his natural 9 position. Love to see him there for sure. Ansu Fati off the left, getting a start against his boyhood club, so we can see some fight there. Raphinha off the right. Again, I'd look to rest Raphinha ASAP. Get from in there. Then Dani Olmo there, and of course you can switch things around, probably put Pau Torre off the wing. But this for me would be a very strong lineup with good rest as well, and more than capable of getting a result against Sevilla. But that'll be the line that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? My official prediction is a 3-1 win for Barcelona. Of course, with not depending on goal, you can never rely on a clean sheet, but I think that this game should be a win and will be a win for the blaugrana side. I think it's a very, very high chance that Barcelona will win. I don't think we will lose this game. We could maybe draw if it's just not our day and things don't go our way as well, but I'm seeing a very, very comfortable win, but not really high scoring win. I can see a 2-0, and my initial thought was 2-0, but Inaki Penny's in goal, so I had to put us conceding one, but I don't think it'll be 2-1. That kind of seems like a tight score line, so that's why I've gone up to a 3-1 prediction. I think it will be a comfortable day for Barcelona. You're at home as well, off the international break. You're playing on the Sunday as well rather than the Saturday. Of course, Sevilla, a lot of their players will be fully fresh off the international break, but a lot of them didn't get called up to the national teams. But even more so, our players, some of them are fresh, some of them are fit, and again, with that rhythm and sharpness, they will perform at a good level as well. So I'm very, very confident in a Barcelona win here. Hopefully that is the case, and my official prediction is a 3-1 win for Barcelona. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that's a match preview for Barcelona versus Sevilla in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything that we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your score prediction. And secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, you're going to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow me after the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead to start off the huge week that Barcelona have coming. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.